Welcome back to Underway Drifting and Dreaming. I am Jennifer and my husband Jim. We are on American's Great Loop and heading into Saugatuck, which is on the western side of Michigan, or the east side of Lake Michigan. We're going to cruise on in the Kalamazoo River. Some boats go in here and anchor right inside the river, leaving the lake. But we're going to go all the way to downtown Saugatuck and go to Safe Harborage Marina. Morning, where are we at?
Saugatuck.
Saugatuck. We're waiting for the leaves to change. Hoping to find a marina here.
There's some changing there.
It's very pretty outside. We're gonna see some. Climb the high dune today, 285 steps.
I got it.
Oh, if we can bike 18 miles, go see a windmill. You didn't take responsibility to plan today's activities, so I have to do it for you.
All right.
Okay, so hiking the steps to see out to Lake Michigan, because we haven't seen enough of Lake Michigan. We'll get some exercise. After tying up the Star of Saugatuck, the riverboat goes cruising by, and they do several cruises a day. Today is fun day. We just dropped the tender in the water. Here's the boom up here. Jim is unlatching everything, and I'm going to have to put down the phone to bring, and I'm not sure what that middle part's called, but gotta bring it in. So we lifted it off the deck, and we are heading out into Saugatuck, Michigan. A lot of places to go run and play. Engine is running, and we haven't had it in the water in about a month. Started straight up. Great little Honda. Let's go for a ride. We tied it up at the downtown Saugatuck dock, and we went for a walk. They have many restaurants, resort, shopping, farmers market, and just a great little town to walk around, to grab an ice cream cone and walk along the docks. And the downtown area is just very historic. Jim and I, we took a ride along the waterfront, down the Kalamazoo River, out to Lake Michigan. Unfortunately, the sunset wasn't spectacular. There were several clouds out. I set my alarm for very early in the morning, and I'm going to hit the road so I can go ahead and hike over to Mt Baldhead Park Trail, and looking at hiking up those 302 steps. So the first half mile, it was still pretty dark, and my goal is to be at the top of the summit with the sunrise. But it was a beautiful walk. It was quiet. Nobody was out on the roads, and didn't have a problem. It was about 1.5 mile walk. Google has this down as a challenging stair climb to the lookout with beautiful views of Lake Michigan and the Kalamazoo River Valley. 302 steps. I'm running up the steps. I stopped halfway. I'll make it there just as the sun's coming up. So that's the bottom. And the top is way up there. I'm gonna keep going. I can do this. All right, I made it to the top of Baldhead Dune. There's a radar station here. That's pretty cool. I'm up here right at, it's at 7:24, so I wanted to be here right when the sun was rising. Ever since I moved on the boat back of July 2023, I make a habit of watching the sunrise. So when we're in a different port, I like to go out and see it from different places. Sometimes I see it from the boat, and then having dinner, watching the sunset on the boat. So those are the two highlights of my days, the sunrise and the sunset. But here are just incredible. And this day I get to see two sunrises, one from the top of the summit, and then when I get back down to the riverfront. Going down the dune is a lot of fun. Climbing the dune is not. I think Oval Beach is in this direction, a half mile. There was a half-mile walk when I head back down the stairs. The trees, leaves are starting to change. Most of them are still green, but there's pops of reds, purples, orange, yellows. It's a beautiful morning. It's in the 50s. Boats are sailing out. The sunrise twice this morning. This is epic. One at the very top of Baldhead Trail. And here, I'm not sure if you can see those leaves changing on the tree. Let's look up at the canopy if I can do this and walk. All right, a mile run back to the boat. We're way down there. As I'm walking back to the boat, we got word that they could haul us out this morning, so I'm glad that I didn't go for the additional hike down to the beach. So we get on, and within a half hour, we are in the haul out slip. Jim wants to check to make sure that there was no damage done. We touched about 5 times in the Trent Severin and just wanted a peace of mind. So this is everything that goes through to take the boat out of the water. You have to get the slings in the perfect spot. Since we have stabilizers, the guys all work together to communicate. At this point, I'm off the boat. Right before they start lifting it, Jim and I both jump off the boat, and I just stay out of the way. And the guys are bringing the boat up, and we're just going to go ahead and bring it forward. We'll give Jim time to, number one, take off the barnacles off the intake, take a look for any structural issues on the hull, look at the skeg, look at the props, the stabilizers. And the boat's only out of the water for about maybe 15-20 minutes. But it takes so much longer to get that boat rigged, so to make sure it comes out safely. So all the guys, like I said, are working together to come check everything out. And Jim did touch up some paint on the rudder. He scraped the barnacles off the intake, and I don't think there was anything else that was noted that was found. I did a little bit of scraping of the intakes for the engines. The barnacles were dead, but they were still there and impeding the water going in. Putting the boat in the water is so much less time. You can see Jim there watching the boat go down, and as soon as the boat is in the water, the slings will be still holding it. We'll both jump on, and that way they remove the slings, and Jim and I are able to take the boat back to our slip. Once the boat's back in the water, we jump in the tender and again go for a ride in the tender around Saugatuck, hitting downtown again. We ate out, and I think I had walleye. Jim had the best bacon cheeseburger ever. After we eat on the boat about 99% of the time. The next morning there is a storm that's coming, so we get up early and plan to leave right before 8. We want to get to South Haven and tie up before the winds start to blow. We don't want to be out on the lake when the seas are more than 3 feet. The boat can handle the seas, but it's just not comfortable for us. But we're saying goodbye to Saugatuck. This is a must stop, whether you're traveling through Michigan in a car or stopping in on the Great Loop. You need to stay for a few days and enjoy. Here we're heading out the Kalamazoo River to Lake Michigan. And there's some beautiful houses on the right side. They're very big houses. They're just ginormous. And here we go. Heading to South Haven. We're going to stay at the Maritime Museum. And our time in Michigan is almost over. We're coming down to the southern of Lake Michigan. And all I can say is this is truly beautiful God's country. Thanks for watching our great loop adventures in Saugatuck as Jim and I enjoy our time on the Great Loop.